Alright, well, welcome to the Apocalypse World part of this session tonight. We need to do some fronting. Let's get rid of these. There's a lot to do. Where's the part that talks about fronts? Okay, here we go. After the first session. Bring it. All this other stuff after the first session. See the list of resources. Listing each threat's available resource will give you some idea. Okay, cool. So, we did a bunch of those things. Fill up your first session workbeat. List any player characters in the center of the circle. What the shit happened here? That can't be right. Yeah, that wasn't right. Alright, cool. Here we go. Okay, we list the PCs in the center. Awesome. Well, make sure I got their names. Or is playing Liz. Right, cool. So let's close these. So, we have Gaza, who is a driver. We have Henrik, who is a brainer. We have Sherman, who is a savvy head. And we have Liz, who is a battle. So let's look at resources. Meat, salt, they don't have any of these things. They don't have any water currently. Shelter, what they do have is liberty. Shelter, because they've got the big rig. They've got time. No, maybe not time. They have status. They're known. They have reputations. They've got weaponry and skilled labor. Machinery. Cool. Those are the things they have. So let's maybe move this over here. Oh, yep. Perfect. Okay. Scarcity and lack of cardinal directions. Do you name NPCs, place them on the map around the PCs according to the fundamental scarcity that makes them a threat? Well, that's great, because I have a bunch of those. Adidas isn't a threat, but Reebok and Nike are, and they're pissed as hell that they got... so they're fear. Gnarly is definitely ambition. Or maybe envy. That's tough. He stole the shotgun, right? We saw him taking the shotgun. I don't know whether he killed... Yeah, I'm not really sure whether he stole the shotgun yet. That's an interesting stakes question. And you know what? I better go ahead and write that down. Did Gnarly mean to steal the shotgun, or was he going to return it? So if you remember, we had the scene. Gnarly was picking up the shotgun Sherman dropped, and then he was captured by Mako immediately afterwards. So I don't know that envy is appropriate, but ambition certainly is, because he wants to move up in the world. Mimi. Interesting. I don't know that she's really a threat anywhere. Oh, man, that's tough. I'm going to put Mimi under ambition, just for now. She's the mechanic. Visage is thirst. He is directly, literally in charge of the water supply. Sun is despair. Son's dad, and probably Son's dad, who we haven't named yet because we haven't seen him. Son's dad was captured by the Hammerheads and is in some deep shit. And we have H. H is hunger. And we're not talking hunger for food. He is a sex seller, so yeah. Hammerhead and Mako want the water supply, they want the town, they want it all. They need those things. I think they probably go under ambition too. Yeah. They covet things. Yeah, they're more covety. I'm gonna throw them under envy. There we go. Alright, put down a couple quick words. Okay, let's see here. Give it some time to sink in. Yeah, let's think of some stakes questions. How and why was Son's dad captured? What is going to happen to Reebok and Nike now that are paperless and off route? You know who I miss putting up here is Princess. She's the head of, I'm gonna put her under ambition. So Princess is the hard holder for the town of Wells. She's like 13 years old, and she's just a little girl that barely even knows how to talk. They've kind of kept her in like the dark, and she just like screams things at people and they do it. She's like, I want food now, and they bring her food. She's got like this cult that surrounds her and has been just doing whatever she says. And so when she says like, I want food, they assume that means like for the whole settlement. They kind of worship her as a god. So all right. See the list of resources. List each threat. Available resources should give you some insight into who they are, what they need, and what they can do to get it. Alright, so we're going to go into the threats chapter now. Awesome. We need to make a home front, right? Let's start. What is the fundamental scarcity? So, this front is going to be called the Great Barrier Reef. What does it express? People are going there to get things. It expresses envy. Is that eventually will be completely overrun by murderous bandits and all resources consumed. It is a threat of landscape. So maybe the threat isn't the threat is the Great Barrier Reef, right? It's called Great Barrier Reef. I think that the front is going to be called the Journey. Because this is what the players want to do. They want to take a journey. And that is going to be eventually it. It is a landscape. It's impulse. I think it's a fortress. I don't know that we have anything for it yet. We don't know very much about it. But we have some moves that we can make for it. So we're going to make sure to put those down. Nope, that was terrible. Okay, we're going to store those moves on a different page, because it's bad. Fronts. Okay, so this is landscape, Great Barrier Reef. And as they approach, I'm going to start doing those. But this is in the distant future. Depiction and cast. So no one's there yet. So we're not going to countdown clock it yet. But that's the end game here. Is the journey. Didn't I set up multiple ones of these? No? Okay. We need a little something else here. We need another home front, right? So we will have home front. It has no scarcity, no agenda, no countdown. And it has the following custom moves, which we don't have yet. And we're going to move the stakes questions over into there that we have so far. Awesome. And any NPCs are going to get dumped over here as well that we aren't already using. All right. Well, the next threat to the journey is called the Hammerheads. They're not going to be able to leave until the Hammerheads are dealt with. And they want stuff. Are they warlords or they're brutes, right? There's not a lot of them. So they are brutes. And they are a hunting pack. They want to victimize anyone vulnerable. And for them, anyone vulnerable is anyone who's not ethnically Caucasian. And their cast currently is Mako and Hammerhead. And the Great Whites. Right, so it shouldn't be called Hammerheads. It's going to be called Great Whites. Duh. Their countdown is, if unchecked, they are going to kill Sun's dad. The next move is going to be continue destroying or sabotaging wells, assault wells, and the final thing is that they are going to destroy well and move on. That's terrifying. Like taking out one of the last bastions of civilization in the middle of a desert, and the only place where you can go to get water, and just destroying all the water generators and killing everybody there. Somebody else moves in, there's nothing there, man. You literally have nothing. Maybe you've got some tin shacks you can salvage. So let's look at those moves for brutes. Hunting pack. And they get some more moves. And these will probably come into play pretty easily and directly. Burst out in uncoordinated, undirected violence. Oh man, that's so good. Okay, another threat to their journey is called Wells. That's going to be the city. Wells is led by a warlord who is Let's see here. A collector. She just wants to own stuff. Visage is going in here. H is going in here as well, and Princess is close to the top. So her cult is actually led by a high priest. We haven't figured out who he is yet. That'll be a great stakes question. So Princess, Visage works directly for her, and H. All of them need... Visage and H need Princess to keep things moving along, keep their businesses going. Visage's case, it's the water. And H, it's the slave sex trade. And then we have a high priest. Okay. Countdown is... If they don't come in and stop anything, the players are stopped from leaving. Princess is deposed by the high priest. New child installed. And then finally, they go to war. Once they get rid of Princess in all of her little snotty ways, right? They just put a new kid up there, and the high priest says, "Yeah, we're gonna fucking take over the nearest town. You know, it's time to up our resources." Cool. I feel like Adidas, Reebok, and Nike are gonna be a threat eventually, but they aren't yet. We'll have to figure out what they're doing. Yeah, cool. Right, we got some stakes questions. We need to write down the stakes question. Who is the high priest? How does he operate? Why is he in control? Well, there's the three very short stakes questions that'll have a very big impact in play. Let's think about great whites. I don't know if they have a stake yet. Great Barrier Reef. Who is holding it? Why is it important? The players want to go there because it has resources, but we don't know what. And getting the players to tell me that is going to be awesome. That in play, I might figure out who the high priest is, or I might just ask somebody if they know who. Just be like, "Hey, Gaza, who is it that you always see with Princess?" And just develop it from there. Owning it. Why is it so important? The Great Whites. I think they should have an initiation ritual. Custom move. So let's figure out the rules for this exactly. Custom move. They're new moves for the PCs, not for you. When a player wants to join, roll plus hard. On a 10 plus, they are in. On a 7 to 9, they need to kill to prove it. On a 6 minus, they blunder into a trap. Yeah. I don't know that the players are going to want to join the Great Whites, but that's an option, right? Like, instead of going there and shooting all the guys, just be like, "Hey, let's join you. Now we shoot you all from the inside." Bam, 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 bam. Honestly, I don't even want to bother trying to anticipate this party. If you've watched any of the other stuff we've done on Monday, like Night Witches or Saga or, yeah, basically these guys are fucking crazy. And they all think completely differently. So I don't even want to attempt to predict these players. Let's assign some resources to some of these threats. So definitely Wells has shelter, security, water, drinking, and hot. I don't even know where to put this. So let's just do resources. Shelter, security, water, drinking, hot. They have H, so they have labor, gasoline. Oh, they have strategic position because they have a lake. And specifically, the Great Whites want that place. Yep. Yeah, they're going for Wells. Okay, so let's think, what do the Great Whites have? Well, they definitely have weapons. They have Bloodkin. Yeah, that's awesome. So they're like just one part of a larger gang. Weapons, Bloodkin. So instead of Great Whites, these are going to be Hammerheads Great Whites. This is just his gang. They are a motorcycle gang, so they have gasoline. I think that's about it. They don't have a lot. Yeah, they don't have a lot. That's why they're raiders. I feel like we should definitely have another front. But, we really only have, like, one front right now. Besides the home front. I think that more will come up as play goes on. But we had a very short session. It was 3 hours, and there was an hour and a half of character creation, so... Yeah, we only had about an hour of play. I feel like the Psychic Maelstrom has to be a front later. I'm going to put that down. Like, we don't want to do it now. But Psychic Maelstrom will become a front or some sort of threat. I feel like there's so many players that have access to it between Savvyhead and Brainer that it's going to need to come into play. And it's probably going to be a landscape thing. And it's probably going to draw people towards them. Yeah, so we got some stakes questions to answer during play. We've got NPCs to throw in the home front that don't have anything to do yet. We've got the cast, and we got countdowns. Awesome. All right, thanks for coming up, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. In a half hour, the Swan Song is about to start. So if you're watching live, I'm about to host that. So stick around and watch.